How you guys doing? You good?
Yay!
So you didn't sneak off to the craft beer festival?
Nope.
Good. I just had some ribs from Moe's. Very good. Very happy. So I'll be sleeping through this panel.
Especially when I start asking you questions.
Why are you going to ask me questions? What are you going to ask me about?
What am I not going to ask you about? I think is the more accurate question.
Don't you want to find out what they want to know?
Well, I will in a minute.
Okay, fine.
I've got some questions of my own to ask.
Okay, we'll see how good they are first.
So I'm going to start with the question I always ask when I'm lucky enough to do these interviews. What did you know about Doctor Who before you came to it? Before you came on the show, I should say.
You do know where I'm from, right? There's one dumb question there. I need 2 minutes. One strike.
He's got a whammy. Whammy.
Next. What's the next question? He thinks I'm joking, isn't he?
I think we should open up to the audience.
I've got 2 more questions. What other questions here?
Well, my best friend who is sitting out in the audience alone.
Don't blame somebody else.
Let me preface this by saying she told me she would not forgive me if I did not ask you about the X-Files.
Did you watch the episode that I was in?
Yes.
Okay. So what are you going to ask me?
I was going to ask you about your memories of working on the show.
That's not a question. It's almost like going, were you on the X-Files? Was it good? To be more specific, that's 2 strikes. Next. You know how long I've been doing this stuff, right? Since there were X-Files conventions. So, what's your third question?
I really think I should hand off to the audience.
Go for 3. You gotta go from 3.
Utah, what was it like filming in Utah?
I talk all day. Utah, what was it like filming in Utah? It was low budget Americans. It was really funny because we went from sort of high budget British stuff to very low budget American stuff. So it was kind of awful. Apart from it looked great and what we did with it was fantastic, but I'm used to shooting stuff in America, which, has a big film unit, etc., etc., etc. But of course, if the BBC is going to film in Utah, it's technically non-union. So we were shooting the same thing as if we were shooting a movie for sci-fi, only we had helicopters and that stuff, so it was kind of cool. I enjoyed it. It was hot and deserty. 2.5 strikes, right, what's next? What was it like shooting in Utah? I think, you know what I think we should do?
What should we do?
I think we should open this up to questions from the floor. Great man. Right, what do you want to know? What?
Okay, wait to kill some down here.
What do you want?
Okay,
Are these working now? Yes, they are. Okay. What do you want to know?
on the Supernatural series, what's it like working with the Winchester boys?
What's it like working with the Winchester?
I feel slightly redeemed now.
Yeah. Do you have a question?
Yes. First, I really enjoyed your roles, Badger.
See, that's how you start.
I thought you were American. And I'm wondering, of all your roles...
I am American, by the way. I swore an oath, and I have a passport that says I'm American.
But you had a beautiful accent in your roles.
That's the great thing about this country. You can sound completely different.
Any special training to learn the different accents?
Probably. A lot of listening, a lot of talking.
Okay.
Cool. Did you have to learn especially how to do your accent?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay, you're done. Come to Alabama, they said. See the sights, they said. Sweet tea was great, by the way. We're going to talk, for God's sake, son. think that one went to the beer festival.
Yeah. So, what do you prefer? Acting in Doctor Who, Supernatural, or yeah, no, super.
Keep list the rest of them.
Those two.
What do they prefer? What, currently?
Well, like,
I'm not acting in either.
well, from experience.
I guess I do have those experiences. I don't have those memories. What do you listen? What do you just think? I've travelled all the way to Alabama. You're here in front of me. What do you really want to know?
Can you like get me on a show or something?
That's a great question. If I happen to be able to shoot a film in Alabama, which I may do at some point, we'll talk about it.
All right.
Great question. I love that question. What do you want?
First of all, I just want to say I'm loving this right now. Cloud nine. Okay, anyway, my question is out of everything that you have played in, as far as the nerd fandoms go, X-Files, I'm not even
Who are you calling a nerd?
and all the like fandom shows that...
King of the nerds.
Yeah. Has anything, out of all of that, have you had a... Okay, we all can't pick favorites. But, out of any of that, have you had any...
We are at a Doctor Who convention, you know that, right? You kind of can pick favourites.
Technically speaking, yes. Okay. Anyway.
Were you here last night? No. How many of you were here last night? Around last night. So, I'm sorry about repeating myself, but there's an altruism to this, which is the stuff that you guys seem to enjoy the most is the stuff I've enjoyed the most. I tended to do things that I like doing. I found stories to tell that I enjoyed telling, and I played a lot of characters that I really like playing. And so they each mean something different to me. So the last question, even though I was making fun of it, is nothing's better than that. They're all different parts of my life. One thing has led to another, and you know, Stephen was a fan of, was a big fan of something strange he was a fan of. It wasn't Battlestar that he saw, but it was something else that he saw that he liked, that I'd done and thought of me for her. I'll think about it in a minute. But those sort of, they're all little signposts in my life, and those are the writers that I love that have written these characters. I've basically gone, here you go, have fun with this, let's see what you do. And a lot of the time they weren't written as long-form characters, they were written as a short piece. Like Supernatural, my character was in one episode, which turned into 8 years. So it's kind of fun, and you know, the idea of Canton was it took 2 episodes to tell that story, but he was written into the canon. So maybe if Stephen had stayed to write a little longer, we might have gone back and explored that, but it didn't belong to anybody else, let's put it that way. So people are loath to touch other people's stories in that way. But I get to be permanently in the canon. I mean, how many people get to have a bigger on the inside moment, get to say the words Doctor Who, get to be written backwards into the canon of the story? It's kind of amazing. So, you know, in Battlestar, you know, spoiler alert, I get to be the president. So it doesn't really suck, does it? And, you know, Supernatural was like, that was, you know, my playground for 8 years. So all of these things are great. You know, the trouble with Firefly is that it was stolen. You know, it just sort of disappeared. So there's this massive sort of pain that everybody gets over it, which is, there is no reason to have cancelled it. Absolutely none. If it had been a year later, it wouldn't have been cancelled. TV changed so much. You know, it only had like 11 million viewers. You know, I mean, praying to get 11 million viewers right now. So yeah, so I love all of the things I've done. I've been lucky enough to do. Hey, how you guys doing? Didn't forget you. Good to see you. Hey, yeah. You want some help? Good luck. The rest of my life I get to do that. How cool is that? Sorry, did you want something? Give her a boost or something. I thought you guys are polite in the South. What? drooping. You said that out loud.
First of all, happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
And do you have any...
No.
Great to know. Do you have any stories from your childhood?
Any stories from my childhood?
That's the best thing I can think of.
That's the best thing you can think of. You came all the way up to the microphone for that. Any stories from your childhood? Yeah, I've got millions of stories from my childhood. Thanks. Thanks for dragging that up. What do you want to know? How old are you? How old are you? 13. It's a difficult age. 13. 13 was difficult. It was difficult, wasn't it? 13 was hard. You're not really one thing, you're not really another yet. It's kind of interesting. I can't think, that's a very broad question. You have any stories from your childhood? So literally going to an adult going, do you know anything? About like a third of your life?
I mean, any good stories?
Apparently not. Oh, the cheap seats at the back here, I like that. It's my favourite people. The lost and forgotten in the corners. Thank you. I saw the picture of you earlier, you weren't there. How you doing? You good? Hi, Heidi. Heidi, hi. How are you, Heidi? You're Sheila, it's pretty close. Hey, you parked. You following me? With tea? Nothing better. What do you want?
Right.
Jumper. Me? One with the mic. I said jumper, the person who jumped.
What made you get into acting?
Oh, I don't know. He sort of wanted me to do it when I was 17. I was playing drums in various bands, 17 years old, and they were doing a movie. I think they were looking actually for one of the, bunch of time, they were looking for one of the drummers for Spinal Tap and stuff. It was all around that sort of time. One of the spontaneously combusted drummers. And it was weird, there was a film that came up and they said, we're remarkably right for it, and they got me in, auditioned for it and did stuff, and I didn't end up getting it, and I was like, I'm not doing that again. So I waited till I was like about 27 to have another go at it, and then I did a play, and the play became a big deal, and that was kind of fun. And I went back to England and had a conversation with somebody who'd been trying to get me into a film when I was 17, and they were like, well, we're doing this film, and you're sort of completely wrong for it, but you never know. And that became In the Name of the Father, so I did, that was my first film with Daniel Day-Lewis and Emma Thompson. Dame Emma Thompson today. Pretty cool, huh? So that's how I got into acting. It was like people going, oh, can't find anyone else to do it, let's get Mark to do it.
What was your favorite thing shooting about Supernatural?
I'm very happy now that I've stopped shooting it, that my neck's not so sore. You know, I've worked with people for 8 years, so it was like it is like a very big family. And you know, when we had our wedding, our sort of like our big party wedding, a couple of years ago, it was amazing. All the people that I worked with came down to hang out, so it was good. Are we bothering you? What's up? What's the problem?
Yes, that's right.
Why? Why? It's pretty cool, just people. That's people you already know. Everyone thinks the same stuff you do, probably watches the same stuff you do, probably is really happy when you ask me a question, that you had the guts to go up and ask the question, that they weren't going to do it in case I give them a hard time. But that's okay, don't worry. Everybody gets stage fright. It's not a natural thing to get up in front of people, as you can tell. Was that a good answer for you? Right, your turn next.
First off, I would just like to say that I am a huge fan of your work.
Thank you.
And that if you had the chance to take a bigger role in Doctor Who as a companion or?
I was a companion. The definition of a companion is exactly what I was. Bigger role? No, it would just be the same role in different part of the story. Like, are you talking about like if I could become the master or something like that? You mean? I wouldn't do it because I'm already in the show as what I am. I love what I am. Makes me happy. No small roles. Make sense? Do you like that answer? Good. What do you want? Hold on one second. Of course, it's my job. I don't know your name, but your face looks familiar.
Is there any show
I wear a fez now. What? Any show I'd go back to?
Want to go back to?
No. Not really. I don't think there is anything to go back to. I mean, yeah, it would have been nice to continue the story in Who, but I don't know where that would take me or what that would be part of. If anybody asked me, I'd probably go do it. But storytelling becomes interesting when you realise that you're part of a bigger story. It's not just about you, it's about your interaction with the people that are there at that time. It's what makes it fun for me. So, you know, there's hundreds of stories about different shows that I've done that are fun. But what do you do? What do you like to do? Let's find out about Brad. So they're actually laughing at me, but with you. So you're doing pretty well here. See, like you got thumbs up from everybody. See? Doing a good job. Concrete stage fright, one convention at a time. You know what? I always said that it's an amazing thing. I hate the term fandom, because fandom comes from fanatic, and fanatic is some sort of really negative term for people who are supposed to be loopy and live in their mother's basements. Which some of us do. Or have, or choose to, but that's not the point. The point being is, it's always been somebody else's label for us. It was never our label. And conversely, I don't trust somebody who isn't a fan of something. You know, I've never trusted anyone who doesn't love something. It's kind of a creepy thing. Oh, I don't care about this, I don't care about that. It's like, no, when you care about something, it's an amazing thing. And what I'm most proud of is, like, if you think about it, you came out today and you dressed as a character that you care about and that you love, and that's literally wearing your heart on your sleeve. That's an incredibly brave thing to do, for which many people over many, many, many years have been derided or made fun of. Even the news now, you watch a newscast of the news, they're saying, oh, you know, yeah, Comic-Con is on, and you see, like, and they're literally making fun of the people that are there because they don't understand what it's about. But it's actually one of the most empowering things there is. It's one of the bravest and most courageous things it is. And the one thing that it does, which is fantastic, is it brings us all together. And that's a very disarming thing for the outside world. They're not quite sure how we can all come together with different political agenda, different races, creeds, sexualities. Makes no difference to us. Absolutely not in the slightest bit important in a convention, which is a very special place. Being shy, not being shy, having anxiety, other mental illnesses, physical difficulties, makes no difference to us. It seems to make no difference, right, Bradley? You agree with that? I think it's pretty cool. And I'm so proud that you got up here and you asked the question. I love doing this. You want to know why I do these? I do this because I get to sit here, look at your face, make fun of you. It's a genuine thing. We make television, I've said this so many times, we make television amongst ourselves. It's me and 150 of my friends working really, really hard, doing what we do, and then we send it out and we hope that you guys like it. When you come to a convention and you do a guest talk, you actually can see what happens as a result of it. You know what I'm saying? I can see your smile. It means something. This you can't do through a television screen. But this is a result of what it is that we've done together to try to give you something, the best thing that we can give you. And actually, that's another common thread for all of these shows that you guys have mentioned thus far, is that they're all shows that have been done with a huge amount of love and passion. And you can tell the difference. The cynical shows don't go anywhere. The ones that are done, purely to copy something else or to get on the back of something else, don't tend to do very well. We don't tend to buy into them. I always have this argument, people say, why is this piece of art perfect? Or how can you compare these things? What's good and what's bad? What's a great song? What's a good song? And there's something that's absolute in art. And the absolute is passion. Something that's made with passion has an evocative presence that you cannot get in something that hasn't been made, or something's been made with cynicism, or something's been made purely as a copy. I remember when my oldest son was about 7 years old, he was looking at a Mondrian painting, and he actually literally looked at it for about 20 minutes going, nobody can paint this. And it's, 4 lines, 3 colours. And it's true, nobody can paint it. There's not a hint of cynicism, it's not a copy of something else. It is what it is, it's a perfect expression of what it is. And it tends to be the stuff that we love and we get most fond of, be it comics, be it art, be it music, be it any of these things, are things that are done with heart, massive heart and passion. And they are the greatest things that we have, and these are the artifacts that stand the test of time. And that's where fandom, I guess, and fanatics should be. It's like the people that fight for those things, not the crap they keep trying to feed us. It's like, they're going to do a thing like Star Wars, they're going to like this. It's like, no, we think what we like what we like, and that's what it is, There's a reason why, Aretha Franklin or Mavis Staples will put their hair up in the back of my neck, and Mariah Carey doesn't. There's a reason, and that's why you just got to remember, it's like, there is some perfection in there, and I think we should be the same way about our TV as well. What do you want?
One of my favorite things I saw on Facebook forever ago was when some of your cast members of Supernatural redecorated your trailer. And I was wondering how long did you actually keep that up, and if you ever partook in other pranks that happened on any TV show you
Pranks always made it to the gag reel of Supernatural, because they were funny. But no, you see, I'm an adult, I sue. I realised how dangerous this whole thing was when Jared was going. Misha was directing an episode, the first episode he directed. Misha is number 3, he's the stupid looking angel guy. Dumb as a bag of hair. The character is definitely dumb as a bag of hair. Misha's alright, he builds hospitals and bloody schools. It's good for other people. Sick of him. But yes, so he was directing his first episode, and they tortured him. They literally were torturing him. They tore up and shredded his script with all his notes. He had a spare copy, it was good. He had to hide his car keys. Jared was looking at me and goes, hey Shep, how much do you think Misha's car's worth? Like, what are you going to do? He said, well, I don't know, we get like 30 grand. What do you, he said, well, I don't know, maybe we could drop it off something. Yeah. Just remember, I sue. I came back to my trailer. I never spent any time in my trailer at all. I came back to my trailer, and I think Misha and Ruth and Elena had managed to sticky tape very carefully 400 calendar pictures of Misha all over the inside of my I was like, it made me laugh. I thought it was funny. They thought I was going to have like a massive hissy fit. But they were like 4-year-olds. They were so excited. I was like, what have you done? I was like, hey, funny. somebody's got to clear it up. But I'm not mean. I wasn't mean to the transport guys. So, you know, just after a while, after like a day, I was like, okay, it's kind of boring. So knocked them all down, pushed them in a corner. So I got rid of them. Kept the one in the toilet though. It was something to aim at. But yeah, I mean, they, you know, they pied him, right? Do you ever see the videos they pied Misha on that episode?
Yes.
Well, so Jensen pies it nice and gently, comes up beside him and through, splat, good shot, all video, nice. Jared hit him so hard with a pie, it took 45 minutes to clean up the set.
Oh.
Probably broke his nose. It's like, Jesus, man. He's like a giant child. Stinky legs. Strongest human being I think I've ever met in my entire life. He can flip tractor tires like all day. His upper body strength is ridiculous. And these skinny little chicken legs. He lies about his height. He's 6'5" and he lies about his height. I'm not short. I'm short on that show. It's funny, like Jensen's wife was once somebody saying, "What's your husband an actor? What show on Supernatural? Which one is he? The tall one or the short one?" Yeah, he's the short one. He's 6'2". I mean, I look about 5 foot. Oh, they used to love to take pictures with me at creation conventions before it was in the line. Just as we were getting ready to take the picture, they'd all go. I don't care what I look like I'm about 5'4". Quite funny. Anyway, what do you want?
Okay, so huge.
I'll be the judge of that.
Huge Supernatural fan.
Now you're that right size.
The best two things about the show. Number one was Crowley.
Good start.
Number two was the classic rock.
Yeah, that was fun too.
It's kind of a two-part question. So first
With
part
follow-ups.
is what kind of music do you enjoy? What's your favorite? Do you like the classic rock, or is that? I know you play
I like
drums.
you call it the classic rock. You like the classic rock?
I'm pretty nervous, Steve.
Yeah, it's good. We're all in this together, brothers. Yeah, I love classic rock. It's great.
Yeah.
That's why it's classic.
Yeah, Kansas. Great.
Kansas are fun. I knew the world was weird when I was in the middle of a tweet between William Shatner, Kansas, and myself. I was like, wow, this is a small world.
So, going on to your last season of Supernatural, I noticed something.
I have no recollections of that season.
Okay, so there was almost an absence of.
Maybe hold your hand. Okay.
There was almost no rock music in it, except for that weird little. Lucifer was in a punk rocker dude for a while, but they almost cut it out.
Punk rocker dude was a classic rock guy. Rick Springfield. Yeah. Great team, by the way.
Go Crowley.
Yay! Come on, you gotta have a question. You went this far.
I was just wondering, like, why did they cut a lot of it out of that season?
I don't think they cut a lot of it out of it. I think they just literally didn't know what the hell they were doing in season 12. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. I played the same scene for 5 episodes. Constantly, now I'm an idiot. I'm poking Lucifer, going, oh, nothing apparently is going to happen to me. When suddenly my character becomes the stupidest person in the universe. Didn't make any sense to me at all. So I was very glad that, you know, they needed to reboot very quickly. So they decided to reboot in the way they did, and they sort of didn't really. So I hope they do soon, because otherwise it becomes a bit unwatchable. Exactly. Sounds like Jared's here. No, it's, you know what? The classic rock stuff was great. It's very expensive.